Hi and welcome to a new episode of Schmollywood Babylon. I had to think there, but I remember the name of the channel, I promise you. Anyway, I took a little break here for a week because I felt kind of down, I don't know, there was a sadness over me, and I felt, okay, I can't stand there in front of the camera and talk about movies. I had to do something else. I've been watching a lot of movies instead, including two very interesting movies that deals with making of other movies. Often people think that this is kind of self-indulgent for a filmmaker to make a movie about filmmaking, but I'm in the business myself, and I enjoy it, and somehow it connects to me, and you can see, it's not only about the making of a movie, it's the making of a life, about a goal of, getting somewhere, and it's a good symbolism for life in general. I think just watch Living in Oblivion with Steve Buscemi, which I think is great. Anyway, this time I will talk about two special movies. Both of them deals with the making of Eurocult movies, vintage Eurocult movies, and this is a subject that you rarely see. I've only seen two movies, and I have them both here to give you an idea what to watch. And with Eurocult movies, I mean, of course, Eurospy movies or horror from the 70s, or, not new stuff. This is movies that's set in the 60s and 70s and deals with cool genre flicks. There's references to Mario Bava, to Jess Franco, of course, Jean Rollin, all these legends, all these geniuses when it comes to cool action films or horror films or thrillers or sexual dramas in Franco's case. First out is probably it's not my favorite, but of these two movies it's the second favorite I have. It's called CQ. It's directed by Roman Coppola, which of course belongs to the Coppola family, and Francis Ford Coppola has produced it, and Sofia Coppola makes a cameo. So it's, as usual, it's a typical family affair. But CQ deals with Jeremy Davis, who plays this young, ambitious director who wants to tell stories about life. But right now in this movie he works as an editor for a big extraordinary Eurospy movie called Codename Dragonfly, produced by some Italian hotshots, obviously based on Carlo Ponti or any of these other guys with cigars and glasses and young mistresses. This kind of personalities. Of course, there's trouble with this production, and the original director, played by Gerard Depardieu, is fired, and Jeremy Davis is, he's asked to take over and get a new ending that would be cool, have sexiness and action, but still smart. This is a very, very ambitious movie. It's probably, it's made in 2001 and feels like now it's totally forgotten, which is weird. It's strange, because this is probably, it's a blast. It's a great film, and it's, the work they've done to actually, to reconstruct this kind of old Eurospy movies with sets and actors. Even Jean-Philippe Law, who starred in several of these movies, is starring in this movie, or he stars in the movie. It's a lot of fun, but maybe it's more connects to us who have some kind of nostalgia. I'm not a nostalgic person, but I can fantasize, I can imagine how it was to shoot these kind of movies, and God damn, I would love to go back myself with some time machine or whatever to do this. But hey, what can I do? CQ, Criminal or Forgotten, you really should see this one. Next up is probably my favorite. I think it's a brilliant movie. It's a Spanish-Danish co-production called Torremolinos 73. This is an excellent example of Spanish dramedy. It's a lot of fun, and it's so alive, and you have fantastic characters, but still it touches you. It tells something. It has a warmth. The Spanish filmmakers are always good at this. This is about a salesman of encyclopedias about some civil war in Spain, and you know, but no one wants to buy encyclopedias. So he's asked by his boss to start making, you know, some kind of instruction movies. Well, with sex, yeah, to sell to the Scandinavian market, you know, because that's the latest fad in the business. And, you know, if you start making these movies with your wife, yeah, you know, you can earn a lot of money. So after some wheeling and dealing, he says, okay, let's do it. And they started making their own homemade little porno flicks, which is a great success. And, you know, the idea of him making his own movie, a Bergman movie, that's his biggest inspiration, you know, grows more and more. And he manages to get money from his boss to make this movie, and they hire some famous actor, and you know, there's a lot of questions around it. But of course the main story told here is this couple's fight to you know, to get pregnant, because there's some problem there. And the solution to everything I won't tell you, but this is it's such a beautiful movie, and you know, you feel good from watching it because everything comes together so perfect, and you can still, as a Eurocult fan like me, enjoy the fact that this is basically a tribute to Jess Franco, because this guy, what he wants to do is a Jess Franco movie. He wants to go to Torremolinos, which is this place where Franco shot several of his movies in the 70s, and do a kind of free-form sexual thriller with you know, arty-farty, but still commercial, very much like Franco, and everything oozes Franco in the movie they're making during the end of this film, except it has some Danish people involved who really wants to shoot a real porn movie. So there you also, they start talking about, you know, the international version with porn and the Spanish version, which also was a huge deal for Franco and the movies he made. But I think you should check out Torremolinos 73 because it's a brilliant movie. It's you know, both these movies are excellent movies about making of Eurocult movies, not just any movies. Eurocult movies. It's Eurospy and it's Eurosleaze. Excellent. Which reminds me, do you remember this guy?
Manson and Forsythe are not dead, they're only lost in the hellish green of the jungle. And soon, avant-garde virtual techniques will enable the audience to find them. These tapes must be destroyed.
Yeah, that's of course from Bruno Mattei's The Jail, and I love this guy. I showed him a couple of episodes back, and I never get tired of him. I always have a clip. I have this clip in my phone so I can watch it from time to time, just to, you know, feel good, because he's... you know, some people might accuse me for laughing at him, but I'm not. I'm laughing with him, because this guy, he's doing everything he can to make the scene the best ever. And, you know, it's like you know, this is his last chance, his big break. And, oh, I love him. It's like his... I don't know. Anyway, my friend Boris in Germany, this awesome guy you've seen earlier, in an earlier episode, has done a little tribute to this gentleman from The Jail. And I leave you with that, and until next time, have fun and have a great summer.
Mention and Forsythe are not dead, they're already lost in the hellish green of the jungle. And soon avant-garde virtual techniques will enable the audience to find them. These tapes must be destroyed.